Good afternoon, Scott.
Afternoon, Neil.
This time we're playing Lee's Charge, Battle of the Bulge scenario in January 1945. Five and a
Yeah,
half
late
turns.
battle of the Bulge.
Yeah. And I believe you picked the Americans, which you love to do in this one.
Yep, Americans.
Americans. Yeah. You have, I think you have 6 Shermans, and I have a bunch of German infantry that have to basically protect victory points getting off the board. So my advantages as the Germans in this scenario is I had fortifications, I had a few foxholes that could set up. I had really good Panzerfaust abilities, 1945, and Panzerschrecks. Disadvantages, I had no armor to go up against your Shermans. I had to rely on all of my light anti-tank weapons and my infantry. And the roar balance from this, when we played it, was dead nuts 50-50. How about the Americans?
American advantages are armor. They start the game with 6 Shermans. To be honest, I don't know how much of an advantage that is. But,
That's where all your victory points are.
yeah. Yeah. They have elite units, 7 elite squads. 100 millimeter OBA with an observer, forward observer in one of the tanks. I think you have to assign him to one of the tanks. Disadvantage is deep snow.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that's one of the main things about this scenario is it's deep snow, and the main road going down the center there is plowed. So
cloud.
yeah,
Yep.
you have a choice to either go straight down the road or go off the road and get bogged down. And I had to cover both of those things from happening. So I spread out my units. You can see my hidden foxholes out there, at least until you came on board and saw them. And then I thought you would potentially run your infantry up through the woods on the top side of the board. So I bore sighted a heavy machine gun kind of in that open area that I had line of sight to, and put some units up there to cover my flank. And then in the foxholes and whatnot, I had a Panzerschreck, and obviously everything, all my units had availability for Panzerfaust. So I kind of tried to create a gauntlet that you had to run through with your tanks, which is where almost all of your victory points were in.
Yeah, my plan. I didn't really. I don't know. I him and hawed on this one. I was afraid the deep snow was going to slow me down too much. I was worried about time. I think in reality you have a fair amount of time. You got 5.5 turns, and it's a short. You're just going across half the board, right? So,
Yep.
my plan was just kind of to go right down the road. I was worried about bogging. Um, Actually, I don't know how much of a worry that should be, but I think at the last second I decided to take some of my infantry um, up through the woods. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think
This is one of those I couldn't get a feel for it. I mean, so
I
yeah,
think you
kind
went
of winging it.
off the road a couple times with your Shermans, with a couple of them, and they didn't get bogged. Um,
Yeah.
but you never know. You do it again, and half of them could probably get bogged. You know.
Yeah. Uh,
I also had a radio down in U10 to cover most of the board there.
I never. Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. I didn't want to stop to use my OBA because if I use the OBA, like in prep fire, I'd have to stop and prep fire them. And towards the end, I think I tried to use it, but yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm coming on in armored assault. Taking a
Yeah,
shot at
took a
me.
shot at that first squad and broke them.
Yeah, broke them right away.
I think it's medium or heavy that I took a shot with. I think it was a medium.
Right. I think that's why I decided to. Yeah, I guess that's why I decided to take some of my infantry up around the top because you kind of had the road zeroed in there.
Yeah, and up in AA1, I think I had a 9-1 and the heavy. That's where the bore sighting in CC1 is. So if you tried to hook up through there, I could light you up. But you never really did make it up through those really top side hexes that have bore-sided.
No, in the woods, I didn't stop to think about it. The woods wouldn't be. I mean, because the deep snow doesn't affect the wood hexes, so
No,
it's just yeah, yeah,
it's
uh,
I think the deep snow was at 1.5 per hex
yeah,
for
one and
infantry.
a half
So
for
it's
open. Yeah,
you save a little bit going through open ground, but not a whole lot. Yeah, so you have all your Shermans on now, and I've placed a spotting round kind of in the thick of it there. Artillery, what did I have? I had, I don't know, some like 70 millimeter or something. Yeah, I had 70. Not much of a chance of it doing something against your Shermans, so I was mainly trying to target your infantry. If the Sherman got caught up in it and I got lucky, then so be it.
yeah. Well, and then I find out here, it's like, well, I got all the Shermans, nose to tail on the road, but now that's like we're just adding all these hindrances to the guys in the back, and
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, and if I happen to take out like the first Sherman, then you've got a wreck on the road and potentially smoke and blaze that you have to shoot through.
yeah, I think I caught one of your guys moving through the open. You're trying to move south to,
Yeah.
or I guess move east, I guess, down the board to reinforce. But
Yeah, I have a Panzerschreck. I was trying to move him into the fortified building in U5, and he didn't quite make it. You lit him up with a machine gun, I think, on your leading tank.
yeah,
And of course, I rolled spectacularly on my morale checks.
yeah, yeah. I think I was really just a little overly cautious. I don't know. I was
Oh,
worried about your heavy.
here we go. You're like, this is like a test run, I think. You're like, oh, I'm gonna go for
Yeah, yeah. I thought it's like, well, I just wonder, can I just blitz down the road? Let's see what happens. Boom!
it.
Oh
Yeah,
god, flaming wreck. Yeah, that didn't look good.
yeah. 1940. Oh, it's 44. Um, or is this maybe the what year is it? The scenario says 44. No, it's 45.
Yeah, January,
Yeah,
early January,
I'll have to fix that.
45.
In the
Yeah.
video we're commenting on, it says 44, but it's actually 45. But yeah, the
Uh,
Panzerfaust's capability and for 45 for Germans is really kind of nasty. I have a Berserk unit in Z1, and he's going to get completely smoked here as soon as he runs out in the open. Oh, do my FFE corrected.
yeah, this really got me in the shorts too. I think you kill my best leader there.
Oh, you just broke a gun, I think, in Z5.
Uh,
Broke a main armament, yeah.
yeah, I'm really good at rolling boxcars for the main armament.
So yeah, now you're. Oh, those two, the buildings in there's buildings in X6 and U5. They're fortified little single hex buildings that I'm dug into there. You're starting to fire on them. Oh, I'm correcting my FFE again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a KIA there.
Yeah.
Rolled a 3. Broke the other stack, and then oh yeah, they were just sitting there, and then you looped around and forced them to route through the FFE. And
Yeah. Oh, there you just killed my berserk guy that tried to come out. Here I'm looping around. The units, concealed units way up at the top there are going to loop. I had to leave the heavy so I can make it. I wanted to get you
mm-hmm.
for failure to route or route through the FFE. So I looped around.
That seems like I think I would have set my heavy up somewhere with more of a field of fire. Though, what were you? I mean, were you planning on moving it
Yeah.
or?
So yeah, I wanted to cover that top side, and if you didn't come that way, I was just going to move them down into AA2, and then I could
Yeah.
cover like the whole snow-covered field if you happen to take your
Mm-hmm.
infantry elsewhere.
I was able to get some kind of lucky shot on your foxhole there and broke a bunch of guys. I thought maybe that was my chance to possibly sneak off the board, but
Yeah, if you could just break a couple, even one of those hexes, it would give you kind of a window, a potentially a semi-safe window to drive through. You might have to go off into the snow, but it would open it up for you.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable like totally.
I think I lost you.
Oh. Okay,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was just hoping for a bad Panzerfaust roll, but never happened.
Yeah, I think I have a Panzerschreck in T7 too. So everyone they all have a Panzer Foss and have a Panzerschreck there, kind of right in the center. And
Yeah, and then
either
I'm losing.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm losing a Sherman. He got recalled because
Right.
the main armament's disabled now.
Yeah. And Panzerschreck or Panzerfaust effective against everything, but a Panzerschreck's effective against Shermans as well. Pretty effective.
I think what did we figure? I think I needed just to exit 4 Shermans off the south edge. I
Well,
think.
they were worth I think 7 each. So
Yeah,
yeah, if you could just get 4 of those off and nothing else, that would win it for you. So yeah, I was
yeah.
concentrating. The infantry for me, I was gonna keep an eye on them, but I was mainly focused on trying to contain your armor because that was where most of your victory points were.
Well, like I didn't want to prep fire. I didn't want to burn a turn firing, and wanted to keep moving. But we're on my turn 3 now. I think I had plenty of time. I could have took a turn or two to prep fire or.
And you had one of your tanks had, well, they all had smoke mortars, and one of them had smoke. It was only a smoke 5 though. I don't remember if you tried to use smoke.
I think I did. I mean, I always have crap smoke rolls, but I don't use smoke enough. Yeah, I think we're getting close to the end here because I'm just kind of trying to just
Yeah, I think in
shove my
my
way off.
your
Uh,
infantry is completely broken up and out of it at this point. You're relying on your tanks. So
yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to keep them together, but then they just like there's no place for them to really route except the top side of the board, and
mhm.
they just ended up going everywhere. And
Yeah, so now you're in line of sight to a bunch of Panzerfaust and a Panzerschreck, and I dropped artillery right on you. So yeah, I think this my next turn. I think it kind of gets decided. Yeah, we're at 30 seconds left here, so right, I think this turn
I
ends.
threw in the towel. I threw in the towel.
Yeah,
You killed like 2 more Shermans.
yeah, I think I killed 2 more here.
In rapid succession. And I was like, that's it.
And that was
Done.
yeah, that only left you with 2. It was I don't think there were enough points if you got everything off at that
No.
point.
Yeah, no. The infantry was scattered all over. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, game over. Yeah, this scenario felt. I mean, you had 6 Shermans, and you're trying to navigate this really tiny board. It must have felt really constrictive to you.
Yeah, like I said, it was just I was like it just felt like I was on top of each other and jammed in there. And every time I want to take a shot, well, it's like, oh, I got to shoot through 2 or 3 other Shermans. And
Hmm. It's weird
I
because
mean, I could see how it would be balanced, but he'd have to play better than I did.
you must have to take some guys off the road and risk it. I mean,
Yeah.
You had three more. Yeah, you had three more turns. And you probably could have taken some time to do some firing or lay some OBA down. Tail of the dice. Surprisingly, you overall were a little bit better than me as far as average
Yeah.
goes.
I don't think, it did, playing, I didn't feel like I had very good dice, but it's always, it's just a matter of what you roll when you roll it. So,
Oh, this is a game I screwed up the log file. I've got my name's in there twice, Neil and Neil U. So maybe we're one session I was as hot as you, I guess, average wise. So we're dice were probably about equal
yeah.
overall. Yeah, in this scenario.
But yeah, I mean, it's a smaller scenario, so, a couple bad dice rolls will.
Right. I think because of that, we're like, yeah, let's try something bigger. So we're playing a steelworks scenario right now, which is quite large, and we also have a three-player scenario with Stu that we're going to be doing commentary on next, which should be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be a
Looking
longer
forward to it.
video. Yeah, and we'll knock that out probably in the next week or so.